Danny Rohl, freshly appointed as manager of Rangers, has broken his silence on why one of the club's more promising stars is largely absent from first-team action, with the Ibrox side navigating a turbulent period and eager for stability. This revelation offers a much-needed dose of transparency. Rohl's candid comments don't just shed light on selection decisions, they also underscore the high standards now expected at Rangers under his leadership. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Danny Rohl finds it difficult to understand why Austin Trusty wasn't sent off for Celtic against Rangers at the weekend. The American central defender's boot connected with the head of Jack Butland in first half stoppage time. Referee Nick Walsh booked Trusty for the incident. A few days later, Rangers released a statement outlining that they remain unsatisfied with the decision not to send Trusty off, despite holding talks with the Scottish FR. We spoke about two different situations, said Ibrox boss Rohl. It was the handball from Anthony Ralston, which led to Rangers' penalty equaliser with maybe a second yellow card. And then of course it was the kick against the head for Jack. I think we always have two sides. The referee has their side and they are looking at the rules. But we have our sides, how we see something. For me, if there is a kick against the head, you have to be really careful what you are doing there. So for me, this is maybe a little bit too difficult to understand. It doesn't matter if it's from the side or the front. A kick against the head is always dangerous because you could get an injury from your opponent. So this is a little bit difficult. The handball, okay. I think there are so many rules with the handball. It's this angle or it's this angle, but the tackle was difficult to understand. Now, Lyle Cameron is not injured despite being left out of Rangers' last two matchday squads. The midfielder was not even quoted among the substitutes for the win over Hibs last midweek, or the semi-final defeat to Celtic on Sunday. It left supporters to wonder whether he was perhaps carrying an injury they hadn't heard about. However, Danny Rohl has confirmed this is not the case. Cameron had just returned from an injury and didn't make it off the bench in draws with Falkirk and Dundee United before appearing for the last 9 minutes against Kilmarnock. But he was reduced to a spectator for the last two games. He enjoyed more game time under Russell Martin earlier in the season, although not always as a starter. Rohl told his press conference this afternoon that the 23-year-old is not carrying an injury. He said, "I think this is always about how many players you can take, and then you have to look at which positions you have to double up and what could happen during the game. Sometimes it's hard for some players. It was just about this game. I think it's always important for my players to understand I picked the squad for the next game and not for the next 4 weeks. There are so many games and tomorrow I have to decide again." Rohl's comments make it clear that Cameron's recent absence is purely down to selection choices rather than any fitness concern. The German boss appears focused on balancing his squad based on tactical needs from match to match, rather than committing to long-term rotations. For Cameron, that means patience will be key as he looks to reclaim a regular spot in the side. With a busy fixture schedule ahead, opportunities are likely to come, but it's now up to the midfielder to seize them when they do. Before we get into our next story, if you are enjoying today's video and you would like to see more and stay updated with the latest Rangers news, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. Thank you, let's get back into the video. In other news, Rangers supporters were left stunned after Youssef Chamiti's shocking miss during the Scottish Cup semi-final clash against Celtic. A moment that summed up the striker's underwhelming spell at Ibrox so far. Signed from Everton in the summer for a hefty £10 million, Chamiti arrived in Glasgow with plenty of expectation. The 21-year-old Portuguese forward was tipped to become one of Rangers' key players, a marquee signing to lead Rangers' attack. However, things haven't gone to plan. Going into the Celtic showdown, Shamiti had managed just 1 goal in 10 appearances across all competitions, a record that has only deepened the frustration among the Ibrox faithful. Even amid his struggles, Danny Rohl had offered a glimmer of encouragement in the build-up to the Old Firm clash, praising the young striker for signs of progress following Rangers' 1-0 victory over Hibernians. But any goodwill seemed to evaporate when Shamiti missed a sitter at Hampden Park, firing wide from inside the box when completely unmarked. A moment that left Rangers fans fuming. Chris Sutton had predicted a goalless draw between the two fierce rivals, but that forecast was quickly shattered when Johnny Kenny fired Celtic ahead. The goal came directly after Shamiti's glaring miss, a chance that could have swung momentum in Rangers' favour. Instead, it became the talking point of the match for all the wrong reasons. Supporters took to social media to vent their frustration. One fan wrote on X, "Couldn't hit the broadside of a battleship if he was duct taped to it." Another added, "That's being very generous. Missed the target from 6 yards out would be more appropriate." Others were even more scathing, with one saying, "For £10 million he should be finishing that," while another fumed, "That's a miss that warrants an instant sub. Get Suter up front over that useless waste of space." Another summed it up bluntly, "He has to score that, we won't get a better chance this game," while a sixth fan simply called the miss absolutely honking. Chermiti isn't the only Rangers striker struggling to find form. Bojan Miovski, brought in during the summer, was also expected to provide goals and competition up front. With 44 goals in 98 appearances for the Dons, the North Macedonian seemed a smart addition. Yet, he too has endured a slow start at Ibrox, netting only twice in 11 games so far. Even so, Miovski might feel hard done by to have started the Celtic clash on the bench. His record against the Hoops, 3 goals in 8 matches, suggests he could have been a more natural fit for the occasion. And given Chermiti's costly miss, many supporters are now wondering whether Miovski might have done what the Portuguese forward couldn't: keep his composure and finish. As Rangers reflect on what might have been, the scrutiny on their attacking options only grows. For Chermiti, the challenge now is to prove that his Hampden nightmare was an exception, not a reflection of his £10 million tag. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.